Hey everybody, Gary Chavez here. Today I have the pleasure of talking with Mr. George Jaros of GJJ Games. He's also a fellow game designer. Today we're going to be talking about 2021 charity auction for Extra Life. So how's it going, George?
Real good, real good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, that's great. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been a gamer all my life, like playing games as a kid with my family and stuff. Then kind of fell out of it for a few years when I had younger kids and after I got married and had kids and stuff. And then when the kids got a little bit older, we started trying to get back into games. And uh, we jumped in with Catan and Ticket to Ride and all the usual modern gateway games. And at one point, my wife was looking at a game for my kids and said, this is kind of neat, but I think you could make something better. You're creative. And at that point, I said, maybe I could. And got into game design, started coming up with my own designs. My first few were pretty horrible, but I think they've gotten a little bit better as time has gone on.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I also started reviewing board games and really started becoming a part of the board game community, which I found incredibly welcoming and positive, and it's been great to meet all kinds of neat people. Now I do board game designer interviews, coming up on 300 of those that I've
Wow.
completed. Board game reviews. I share news and all kinds of stuff on my GJJ Games website, plus my own designs. And
Awesome.
yeah,
So tell us a little bit more about the 2021 charity auction for Extra Life.
sure. Extra Life, if people don't know, Extra Life is an organization that started in 2008 to raise funds for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And it's been growing since then. In 2008, there were 1,200 people involved, and they raised like $110,000. And in 2020, they raised millions of dollars.
It's
Um,
fantastic.
it's been incredible the way it's been growing. I became involved in 2016 when I learned about the programs and decided I wanted to run my own Extra Life event, which traditionally has been like a 24-hour gaming marathon. It started out as video games, and they've expanded now. They welcome any kind of gamer. So the board game community is big on Extra Life. Video game community is huge on it. But they'll welcome any kind of game. If you want to play sports or play cards or whatever kind of game, as long as you're having fun, and then use that fund, those opportunities to raise money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals and to help sick kids get better.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
so
So,
I got involved in it in 2016, just kind of running my own 24-hour event. And the place that I happened to run it at, the store, a local store in town, the year before they had run a small auction where local gamers could donate their games, and then some of the money would go towards the charity, and some of the money would earn the gamers some store credit so they could buy some games in the store. So it was kind of a win-win for everybody.
uh-huh.
And I had some games in that in 2016, and then in 2017 I kind of took over organizing and said,
Wow.
why don't we reach out to some publishers and companies in the industry and get some sponsors. And we got 4 sponsors in 2017 and raised a few $100. And each year I've been working on growing not only my 24-hour event, but the auction that we have. And last year in 2020, we had 45 sponsors from the industry, and
Yeah.
we
Awesome.
raised over $39,000 for the charity, which was incredible, especially considering the pandemic and everything that we were in last year.
Yeah.
Um, and this year, I've really been pushing, trying to find more sponsors, and we are at this point we're up to 67 sponsors this year.
Wow.
I've already got several hundred games donated. You can see them on the shelf behind me.
Yeah.
All,
Uh-huh.
all of those are auction games. So And I've got hundreds more that are on their way coming. So it's going to be amazing this year.
Great. So can you explain to me a little bit more about who the auction and the charity is for, and who it benefits?
Sure. The way Extra Life is run is everybody who signs up, and anybody can sign up. You just go to extra-life.org, and you can sign up to run your own fundraiser. But when you do, you choose a Children's Miracle Network hospital that you want to sponsor. So there are hospitals all around the United States, Canada, and a few other hospitals around the world. So you choose yours. I've chosen Lurie's Children's Hospital in Chicago because I'm located right outside of Chicago. And then whatever funds you raise go directly to that children's hospital.
Wow.
And you can use those funds in whatever way they see fit to help the children that are at their hospitals. Children's Miracle Network hospitals are a wonderful organization. They treat every child who comes through their door, regardless of the family's ability to pay for the medical services they need or not. So I feel like it's a wonderful cause. 100% of what we raise goes to the hospitals directly. So it's not like, I don't take a cut off, Extra Life doesn't take a cut off, and no, everything that we raise goes straight to the hospitals.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So how would someone get involved in this? How could they support you?
Well, if you want to support me directly, you can go to my Extra Life fundraising page, which is extra-life.org/participant/GJJ Games.
And we'll make sure to put those links on the video description.
Excellent, excellent. So if you go there, you can donate to my fundraiser specifically.
Okay.
If you want to run your own fundraiser, you can just go to extralife.org and start your own fundraiser and collect money. Or if you would like to get involved in the auction, there are two ways to do that. You can either become a sponsor and donate items. You can reach out to me on the auction webpage, which is charityauction.bid/2021 Extra Life -GJJ Games. So we'll get that in the description. It's a little long, but if you go there, there's information right on the top of the auction page about how to become a sponsor. You can send me an email and I'll work with you. You send your games to me. I enter them into the auction website, put numbers on them, put them up on the shelf with all the other games. And then I, through all my advertising and promotion of the game online, I mention every company that is helping out and sponsoring. I work with publishers to help promote their games while they're being a sponsor. I work with other media creators. This is a great way for media creators to put used review games, that they get, put them to a good use, to a great cause. So I work with everybody. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. I'll promote you and you're helping out.
Sure.
Even if you can't donate games, just promoting the event is a huge help. Letting people know about it. And then if you want to actually bid on the games, you can go to that same website and sign up as a bidder. The auction opens on November 5th.
Okay.
And it will run for 1 week. It opens at 7 p.m. Central Time on November 5th, and it will close at 10 p.m. Central Time on November 12th. And you can sign up on the auction site as a bidder, and then you can place bids on all the amazing games that have been donated.
That's awesome.
And,
so you would go on a website and just sign up to get into the auction?
Yep. You can go on the website and see everything that's in the auction without signing up. But if you want to place a bid, you'll have to sign up.
Okay.
And then you'll get notifications that you're the high bidder, and if somebody outbids you, you'll get it. A notification and stuff, so you can go back and forth. And The way the auction works is it's got an anti-sniping feature. So if there's the game that you really want and somebody outbids you in the last 30 seconds of the auction, it will extend the auction for that item by a few minutes.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
so
that's great.
no worry about, somebody snagging that game out from under you that you really want. But yeah, it gets exciting, towards the end of the auction, and you get to see the numbers increasing and the bids rolling in.
I bet.
See how much you're making for the Children's Miracle House.
Anything particularly interesting to bid on this year?
There are plenty of really cool things. Game Toppers is donating a game mat, one of their huge mats, for the second year in a row. GPI Manufacturing, they manufacture a lot of games. They've donated a number of games, including a copy of Brass Birmingham. Let's see, what else do we have back here? Cryptozoic has donated a number of games and a whole bunch of their Cryptkins characters. Thunderworks Games is going to be sending a bunch of stuff. They haven't sent it yet because they are waiting on deliveries of some of their new games, like their new edition of Cartographers, and they've got Role Player Adventures. I'm not sure what they're going to send, but Keith over at Thunderworks Games is always a huge help. I've got a bunch of titles from Pencil First Games up there. The Game Crafter will be donating a number of gift cards, and they also have been working with me with the Game Crafter community. So designers have been purchasing copies of their games and having the Game Crafter hold them, and the Game Crafter is going to give me the games at Protospiel Chicago in September. So no shipping charges or anything. And I actually went through there earlier last month and picked up a bunch of games. So I've already got a whole bunch of games on the shelf back here that are from Game Crafter designers. So yeah, lots of really cool, interesting games, and a ton more coming in.
I got my I'm sending a copy of Saints and Scoundrels to you.
Yep. Looking forward to that.
It's really easy to send it to the Game Crafter. Can you explain about a bit about that for our designers in the audience?
Yes. And we actually just stopped the program for that on August
that's right.
1st.
It was up August 1st. So
right. So if you still want to jump in on that, you would have to send a message to them first and see if they'll be able to get it printed in time. But essentially, you would place an order for your game, and then choose will call for the shipping method, and put Extra Life Charity Auction in the order notes, and they would set it aside and hold it for me, and then get it to me. Either a couple weeks, like I said, a couple weeks ago, I stopped up there, or in September at the Chicago Protos.
So
I remember when you time.
I remember when you posted it. I remember when you posted it on the Facebook page, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds like a great way to support George." So yeah, I put my game in there. I know a lot of other people.
Well, it's not supporting me. I don't get anything out of it.
But support your efforts.
Right. I get a warm, fuzzy feeling out of it. That's about it.
It's a great charity, so I think a lot of people jumped on board.
It is. And it was actually Chris Williams from All Right Games that gave me the idea for that. He saw me posting about the auction. He's like, I was hoping to send some of my games from the Game Crafter to you, and I started thinking, I was like, well, the Game Crafter usually sends me stuff too. Maybe we can bundle all that together. And we did. And yeah, I've got like 20 some designers through the Game Crafter that have donated games. And so it's a great way for some lesser known designers to maybe help get their name out there, advertised right alongside some of the big names, Gamelin Games, Colossal Games. There's some big names that have stepped up and are helping out. So great. Little guys can ride the coattails.
So how did you, I think you went a little bit over about how you got involved. Can you explain a bit more about exactly how how you got involved, became an organizer?
Yeah, pretty much, because when I see a great cause, I jump in and,
Hmm.
over my head. That's
Yeah,
that's what I
that's
do. I lead a
sure.
scout troop for my kids, and I right away became the Cub Master for the Cub Scout troop. And,
Yeah,
whenever I volunteer for something, I go in, full fledged.
awesome.
And so the first year I heard about this, it was, I heard that you did run a 24-hour game marathon and raise money for Extra Life for these charities, and
Uh-huh.
and I thought, hey, that's pretty neat. I wouldn't mind playing games for 24 hours, and this might be something my wife will let me do for 24 hours. So,
It's for charity. It's for
right. It's for
charity.
charity. How can you say no?
That's awesome.
It's yeah. Doesn't anybody think of the children? And yeah, so I planned to do it, and I reached out to some of the local gamers in the community and said, hey, do you want to come and spend 24 hours playing games with me? And they all said no, but we'll show up for a little bit. So I reached out to the game store that I frequent in town. It's called There's Fun in Store.
Hmm.
At the time, they were under a different name, but it's the same owner and stuff. He's no longer under the franchise. He owns the store on his own. So
Okay. Yeah.
um, but yeah, so I reached out to him. He said, yeah, we had somebody run a 24-hour marathon last year for Extra Life, and he wants to do it again
Wow.
this year.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you can do yours. I said, great. So I planned mine from Friday to Saturday, and then found out that the guy that had done it the year before was planning his from Saturday to Sunday. So that first year that I did it, it
Uh-huh.
turned into a 48-hour event, which was
Oh,
pretty cool. Um,
yeah.
but I raised a couple $100 for the charity. Found out about the auction and had a
Uh-huh.
few games in that. And then the next year, I live in a college town. The guy that was organizing the other events, he graduated and moved on. But I decided I wanted to continue running the 24-hour,
Okay.
uh, marathon. And I said, now I'll start working on the auction too, and I'll reach out to publishers because I think they'd like to help out. And
Uh-huh.
the first couple of years that we did it, we just used Facebook. We posted pictures on Facebook of the games that were donated, and
Hmm.
people just commented on Facebook, which worked okay for 2017 and 2018.
Hmm.
But in 2019, we had about, I think it was 31 sponsors, and we had
Wow.
uh, around 200 games that were donated, and on Facebook it just became way too unwieldy to manage it. So
Sure.
last year I started looking around for an auction platform to use, and so I found Auctria, Auctria, which has a relatively low cost auction platform. They charge a small percentage of all credit card fees.
Mhm.
And then there's some limits. We can only raise $10,000 a year, but so far, that would be a great number to
Sure.
maximum to hit.
Good
So
problem
far,
to
we've been
have
doing
if you hit that
right. That
limit.
would be a good problem. So I've used that last year, and it made running the auction just incredibly simple. The features on the site were great. It was a lot of fun to run. And this year I've improved the site even more. And we've got tons of more donors. It's a professionally run site. It's not just
Yeah.
Facebook
Hmm.
pictures
Sure.
now. So
Uh-huh.
it's been great the way it's been growing and stuff. It's been amazing, and using the auction software, to run it on. Um, People have been, I got great feedback about it last year, how easy it was.
Great.
It was fun to bid on things. It's got features on it, where you can say, my maximum bid is going to be $30, and it will automatically increment it,
Hmm.
as people outbid you. So you don't have to sit
Okay.
there and watch things constantly. And you get
Okay.
notifications and stuff. And they handle all the payments and stuff through, you can pay through credit card right on the site.
Hmm.
And then it makes running reports for fulfillment and shipping a lot easier. So
Okay.
so I've got got all the games back there, sorted by their auction item number. So then when the auction closes, I can hopefully just pull things off the shelves, throw them into boxes, and ship them out. So
Okay.
last year, last year it took us about a month to get everything shipped out. This year I'm hoping to do it in a week or two. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. Are there any social media events going to run concurrently? Are you going to stream any of this? Are you going to post anything while the game marathon is going on?
Well, last year I couldn't do the in-person 24-hour game marathon.
Sure.
So I taught myself how to stream, how to live stream.
Okay.
And I live streamed for 24 hours from my front, which
wow.
was exhausting because when you're in a room with a bunch of people gaming and stuff, you can sit and relax and play some games and stuff, and that's. When it was just me on a camera,
sure.
I felt like I had to talk the whole time to engage a little bit of an audience that I had, and it was really exhausting. So this year, depending on COVID restrictions and stuff, I'm hoping to do an in-person event again. It might not be as big as the one that we did in 2019, but I'm hoping to do a smaller one in person with maybe a few local gamers coming in and out. The game store has an area for gaming that should be open, but they're not going to have their main gaming space open yet. So, so hopefully the small area I'll be able to have people coming in and out, and I'm thinking of possibly live streaming that.
Okay.
It's still kind of all up in the air.
Sure.
In 2019, we did have a group that came in and live streamed for the whole event called Cardboard on Tap. They're a local streaming and podcasting group here in DeKalb, Illinois. And so they came out and streamed in 2019. So I might hit them up for some help setting up in a remote location to stream for 24 hours. And if something happens and we can't be in the store even, and it's just me, then I'll be in my front room streaming for 24 hours.
Okay. Either way, it's going to happen.
Either way, it's going to happen. And and I'll definitely be posting on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, as things are going on, sharing games that I play and stuff. So hopefully we'll be streaming on YouTube and Facebook as well. I don't have a Twitch account, so I won't be there. But if I stream, it'll definitely be on YouTube and Facebook. So
great.
The way I did it last year is it was broken into 4-hour chunks because of the length of streaming. So I would stream for an hour or stream for 4 hours, then I took a half-hour break.
Wow, that still sounds pretty tough. 4 hours.
It was exhausting. And a couple times my break went a little longer, and people got to see me, eating on the stream because you got to refuel.
Yeah, sure. All right. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you want everyone to know about the charity auction for Extra Life?
No, just it's a great cause. It helps kids that are sick. I don't have anybody in my immediate family that has benefited from the services of Children's Miracle Network hospitals, but I do have some friends and some of my extended family have been treated there, and they've had wonderful experiences. And everything that I hear about them, it's been amazing what the Children's Miracle Network hospitals do for the kids and the families, and I'm just thrilled that I can be a small part of that, and a growing part of that. It's an amazing cause.
Okay. Well, speaking as a designer and as someone who writes for Meeple Mountain and just a member of the community, I really appreciate the effort that you put into this. It's making game designers and board gamers look great, and it is a great cause. And I hope everything works out for you. And good luck on your marathon. I'll send words of encouragement when I can, and,
I will
and check on you just to make sure everything is okay.
Yep, I will keep people posted, and you can follow me on social media at GJJ Games. That Facebook is where I am most active, so that's the best place to follow me.
Great.
I'm on Instagram as GJ Jaros, and on Twitter as the Indigo Rider. So don't ask about that. That's a name from a long time ago.
We'll talk about that offline.
Yeah.
I like to hear that story. All right, George. Unless there's anything else, I really appreciate you coming on and telling us about your great charity.
Yeah, I appreciate you spotlighting the event. It's going to be great this year. I'm thrilled to see how it turns out.
Yeah, very curious to see it. All right. Thanks a lot, George. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
You too.